Every time in my life when I thought everything was at its worst, and it was at its worst, and what I thought was the worst thing that could happen to me was happening to me. Every time that happened, I was eventually on the other side of it and would look back and see it was exactly what I needed. It was a blessing in disguise. It was exactly what I needed to grow into the person that I wanted to be. And I'd look back on those times or before those times, and I'd feel the strength that I gained through those experiences. There was one time when I was traveling around the country in a van, and I'd been traveling for like 6-8 months straight, and I was in Joshua Tree with my partner, and we got stuck in some sand. We were at a campsite. There's a main road. You take a turn on a little sandy offshoot road to go to the campsite. We drove into town to grab water, and then we drove back, and when we came back, what we thought was the road to the campsite was actually just a false road. Not even a road, it was just a path of sand, and the sand was like baby powder, and we drove like 15 feet in our big van and got stuck. And at that time, we were looking for a place to settle down and get jobs and make money, and we weren't worrying about money until we found out that we were going to have to pay $700 to get our van towed. And we started freaking out a little bit. We were like, man, what are we gonna do? Just thinking about all the worst case scenarios and feeling this existential angst of like, oh my gosh, why is life doing this to us? And just freaking out. But there was nothing else we can do. We had to pay the $700 and called the tow company. And as they were on their way, I went outside and I was leaning on the back of my van. And I just remember at that time, not only was that experience making me freak out, but I had just gone through so much in the past couple months, good and bad. And I was already like overwhelmed and processing so much, and it was just the cherry on top. And I looked up at the stars, and in Joshua Tree, you can see the Milky Way. It's like, it feels like the sky is falling on you. You can see every single star in the sky, millions of stars above you. And in my freaking out, I prayed to God, and I said, if this is meant to happen and everything's going to be okay, just show me a shooting star. And then it was like, boop, shooting star, like exactly where I was looking. And in that moment, I flipped completely. I went from this deep fear and dread and worry to being filled with faith and joy. And the guy who was coming to tow our van showed up, and I was in such a good mood. I was giddy, and he was confused. And I told him what happened. He was like, man, that's crazy. That's amazing. But the reason I'm telling that story is, like I said, every time you think everything is going to crap and life is chaotic and you don't know where you're going to go and you don't know what's going to happen, and everything that's happening to you feels like just challenge after challenge, and you feel like you're getting beaten down by life. One, God is testing you to lean on him, to trust, to realize that you don't have control over life. And in that surrender of realizing that, you will find true peace. Two, you are being built up to be stronger. And three, it is giving you an experience to look back on, to show you that you have no need to worry in any situation. In every situation that you're in, that does give you the feeling that you need to worry is just another opportunity for you to find peace in surrender into the unknown and into your higher power, into God, into Jesus. Every single time. And the more of these experiences you go through, the stronger you grow in your faith and peace and joy, where you are unshakable amongst the chaos of life. Because life is going to hit you with problems. It's inevitable. You know, there's going to be ups and downs and fluctuations in your state of being. But the more you find surrender into the peace of knowing that everything is out of your control, other than the way in which you react to the circumstances you were placed in, the more you fall into and lean into that knowing, and it becomes integrated into your being and your consciousness, the more you are like a rock in a river where you can't be moved and you are steady and everything kind of just flows around you and you allow it to happen. So, I don't know who needed to hear this. Probably a lot of people need to hear this because everybody's going through stuff. And also the fact that whatever you're going through, there's millions of people who are going through so much more. Situations that are so much worse than yours. People who are in war, people who are starving, people who have, deadly diseases, people who have ailments where they can't even move, where they're stuck in bed all day, people who are starving, people who have to walk 10 miles to go get water every day. Like, really putting that into perspective too can just, bring gratitude in the midst of your chaos. And in that gratitude, you are raised to such a high place because you can see what you have and you're not dreading about what you don't have and what is wrong. It's crazy. It's like when we're in that state of fight or flight, our beings can kind of resist gratitude because you might be scared that if you're grateful and you're happy and you're grateful for what you have around you, then you're not going to worry enough. And if you don't worry enough, you're not going to figure out what you have to figure out, even though a lot of the time there's nothing to figure out. Or two, being in the state of worry and fear is not going to help you to figure out what you want to figure out. It's like, regardless of what you're going through, being in a state of peace and trust and faith and surrender is so much more beneficial for you to figure out whatever you need to go through life in every situation. There is no need to fear. It says in the Bible 365 times, do not fear. Do not worry. Do not be anxious. And then we might hear that and be like, oh, well, what about this? This is a reason to fear. No, it's not. It's not going to help you to fear it. It's not going to help you to worry. It's not going to help you to be anxious. It's not going to help you at all. You will figure everything out so much more effortlessly and gracefully in a way that is sweet to your being and you are grateful for. Grateful for the growth through the tumultuous pain and the chaos that you experience if you're in that state of peace. And when our nervous systems are overrun with fear and we're used to being in that fight or flight state, it can be a process to get yourself to trust that. Even though it makes logical sense, your being might tell you, no, I need to stay in fear. And you just need to realize that, acknowledge it, and be like, actually, that's a lie. I can be peaceful in this situation. Being peaceful does not mean that I'm not going to do anything. Being peaceful does not mean that I'm not going to figure anything out. Being peaceful does not mean that I'm not going to act. And being peaceful is not being lazy or stupid. Being peaceful is actually the smartest way that you can move forward in every situation you're in, regardless of what it is, who it's with, the where it's with, or whatever it is. So, yeah, take a deep breath. Go sit still. Allow yourself to sit still in the angst, in the fear, and feel it. And allow all the feelings to come up of, I can't sit still. I can't be feeling this. I have to do something. Allow them all to come up and let them pass until you are in a place of acknowledging what is, from a place that is non-judgmental and is not one where you attach yourself to your situation, to the chaos that you're in. One where you are detached and observing it and allowing yourself to just move through the play that is life from a place of peace through the chaos.